Hey everybody, I wanted to show you a hieroglyph that I looked at real quick. Notice some alchemy in this thing. A lot of you have probably seen this is the Hall of Judgement, the Osiris Hall of Judgement, and you can see all this stuff going on and everything. And this is where they get their heart weighed against the feather and all that. But there's actually a storyline going on here, and there is a bunch of alchemy in here too. There are hidden images in here. And based on the hieroglyphs that I've looked at so far, it all totally follows in line, and we're going to see that here in just a second. So when you take a look at this thing, if you are not familiar with looking at these hieroglyphs, some of this stuff looks foreign. However, when you know what to do, which is what we've been doing with the hieroglyphs so far, everything falls right into place. Here we go. So what we're looking at here and what they were doing, because the Book of the Dead is a misnomer. It's actually called the Book of Coming Forth by Day. And so the Book of the Dead is actually incorrect. And so what you can see here, and when we start looking at the details, you'll understand that this is exactly what's going on here. Once again, just like the was staff, we can see the top here where the coccyx, on the very left side of this border right here where I've got this white line. And as we go through, we can see that it goes right to the spinal cord. And these people up the top here with their legs sticking up, you can see that these represent the backbones. They don't give it away, so they have them all sitting there the same, just like that. But when we get to this area right here, it starts becoming very clear. You'll also notice that the hieroglyphs themselves on the wall follow, like you can see, it's they're not written all the way down right here. They're not written all the way down right here. They get lower right here, and then they get higher right here because they're following the spinal column. One of the other things that you will notice is the ribs. You can see Thoth writing something here, but take a look at his legs. They're right on the ribs, and so are hers. And then when we get up here, we have the four sons of Horus standing on this lotus flower. But when we have it all lined up and we look up here, we see the last four vertebrae right here before it looks like we go into the base of the skull. And the way that they did this, like for example, this part of the corpus callosum right here is called the gena, but the way she's got this, I think it's called a flail or something. She's got this flail resting against him. It covers the outline of the gena part of the corpus callosum just perfect. And as you can see, the alchemy that they've followed here, along with the internal part of the brain, is just perfect. You can see how this goes right along the mouth, the curve of the mouth, and everything. So this is the real definition, and I sure hope people are starting to realize that these ancients. Oh, by the way, here's another thing. And you can see what they do. See, if this were the was staff, this white bar running here, it would go through the back part of the skull because it would basically be passing just along the edge of the brain, and that's what this Eye of Ra does. It signifies the edge of the brain. So if there was a was staff going through there, it would just go by it. It would just like graze by it. So there you go. And so I hope people are starting to realize that these ancients were not all about worshiping some other gods and stuff. The whole idea about these gods were just they're just representations of different aspects of mind, different aspects or personalities or so forth. And so what this is all about, that we're seeing with all the temples and everything, it's about what's called raising the Jed column. And basically that means going through a series of steps of enlightenment and reaching the pineal gland, the crown chakra. And you know what, folks? These people a long time ago, they built something that we still cannot do today. with precision and accuracy. Who cares if we could lift the stones that are on there? We cannot duplicate the accuracy and the precision. They were doing all that to, well, for a couple of reasons. I think they left it that way to let us know in the future. And I think they also did it because they needed to, in order to represent larger and smaller scales of man. And you know, when we start taking these hieroglyphs, like if this hieroglyph was simple enough and it wasn't telling a really complex story here, we could take pieces of this hieroglyph out and plug it into other hieroglyphs. The reason we could do that is because they did everything by phi. There wasn't anything that was ever freehand. It may look like it, but when you start laying all the images on top of it, you realize everything is exact. It's all based on phi. And that allows you to take pieces of one hieroglyph and plug it into another hieroglyph and see if it makes sense and so forth, like we've been doing so far. So anyway, I wanted to show you the Osiris Hall of Judgment. The underworld is really at the bottom part of the spine. I believe that this is what these ancient Egyptians, when you take a look around the temples, what you see is you see three symbols. You see the Ankh, and you see the Was staff, and you see the eye, and you see the eye in all these pyramids. This is what it's all about, folks. It's about the human body. It's about steps to enlightenment. It's not all about this sun worship and stuff like that. That is a misunderstanding, and actually, considering the intelligence of these people, I would consider it a big insult, actually. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll talk to you soon.